Before my name was a whisper on the lips of kings, I was here. I was a tapestry of mountains and rivers, of forests so dense they breathed the sky of their own. My heart beat to the rhythm of a million drums, the footfalls of people who knew me not as a new world, but simply as home. They were my children. They danced in my sunlight and slept under my cloak of stars. Their stories were etched into my canyons, their songs carried on my winds. I was a continent of thriving life, of ancient wisdom, a world complete unto itself. I knew the cycle of seasons, the migration of beasts, the deep silence of a winter's night. I was serene, I was wild, and I was whole. I remember the feel of buffalo herds thundering across my plains, the sight of eagles soaring over my peaks. The smoke from a thousand fires rose to greet the dawn, each one a prayer, a story, a family. I held their histories in the rings of my oldest trees and in the depths of my clearest lakes. There was no concept of discovery, for I was already known, already loved, by the people who walked my soil. I was not a wilderness to be tamed. I was a garden, a mother, a universe of interconnected life. Everything existed in a delicate balance, a symphony of existence that had played for millennia. Then, one morning, the horizon bled a different color. My coastal children, the Taino, saw it first. 3 strange, wooden beasts, larger than any canoe they had ever conceived, with white wings that caught the wind like captured clouds. They floated on my waters, alien and imposing. A shiver ran through me, a feeling I had never known before. It was not just the cold ocean breeze, it was the premonition of change. A deep seismic shift that I felt in my very bedrock. Curiosity was the first emotion. Who were these beings? What world did they come from, sailing out of the sunrise? My people gathered on the shores, their faces a mixture of awe and caution. They were not afraid, not yet. They were a people of welcome, of shared stories. They pointed, they murmured, their hearts open to the wonder of the unknown. They could not have imagined what these strange vessels carried. Not just men with pale skin and iron sticks, but ideas of ownership, of conquest, of a god they did not know and a king they had never seen. They carried the seeds of a future I could not comprehend. That single moment those wooden hulls scraped against my shores was the turning point. The symphony of my existence was interrupted by a new, discordant note. The air, once pure, began to carry the scent of gunpowder and the weight of unspoken promises. My ancient rhythms were about to be broken, my delicate balance forever altered. My children reached out with open hands, offering food, water, and kindness. They saw men, they did not see the vast, hungry empire standing behind them, an empire that would soon seek to claim me, to name me, to carve me up and call me their own. History would later call this a discovery. But you cannot discover something that was never lost. You cannot discover a people who are already home. It was not a discovery, it was a collision of worlds, of beliefs, of futures, and I, the land itself, was the silent witness to it all. I felt the first cut of the axe into my ancient forests, the first clank of chains, the first tear shed for a world that was beginning to fade. The story you are told is one of brave explorers and a new world found, but my memory is longer. It holds the echoes of what was there before, the laughter, the songs, the sacred silence. It remembers the moment the world was split in two, the world that was, and the world that was to come. They say history is written by the victors, but the land never forgets. I am the archive of all that has been lost, all that has been taken, and all that endures. Listen closely. You can still hear my true story in the whisper of the wind through the pines, in the rush of the river over ancient stones, in the quiet heart of the continent that I am. History remembers the date, but I remember the dawn.